bit of HTML and CSS. Which other one? There are three of them. Just not advanced. Not advanced.
Got it. The other one's JavaScript. That's what you mentioned. Okay. See, web application in general can be divided into two parts, the front end and the back end. If you understand these two a little briefly, the front end basically is the client side part that the user interacts with directly. That's called the front end. The back end is the server side logic, which is responsible for processing processing requests or managing databases and executing core functionalities. That's what a backend is responsible for, essentially. The front end, it focuses on the look, the feel, and the usability of the web application. In front end, we have a few elements that we already know about a little bit. For example, we got HTML, which is hypertext markup language. This basically structures the content of the web page. For example, like the text, the headings, links, sections, etc. It's a structuring thing. Another thing is the CSS, which is the cascading style sheets. This is responsible for styling the web pages. It styles the web page, adding color, layout, design, different fonts, and animations. And the other element is called the JavaScript. Short, we call it JS. This is responsible for adding the interactivity to the web page. Interactivity like form validations, dynamic content loading. All this is possible because of JavaScript. Another element are there are some frameworks that are included in the front end. They are called the front end frameworks. These frameworks are like tools like React, Angular, JS, and Vue.js. These basically are frameworks based on JavaScript, and they simplify development by offering reusable components and features. I think structures will be the right word. So if you like have to script and write the whole code again and again, you can simply use a framework instead of it, and it's like reusable. You can use it multiple times. Just call on that particular framework and it will do the work for you. It makes it more easier and more simpler and more faster comparatively. Then comes the responsive design. Obviously, they are designing techniques. Techniques like media queries, and frameworks. There are again more frameworks for these responsive design techniques. Frameworks like, if I have to give an example, we can talk about Bootstrap. You can Google about that. This basically ensure that the app will adapt to different screen sizes, because we know that like smartphones, tablets are of like variety of size, and especially now we have folding phones, triple fold, double fold, half fold, right? A lot of other folds are coming up. So the web application should be adaptable to all the designs. So it should be very responsive to whatever format it is being casted into, irrespective of what device it is. In a single device, there could be multiple formats. So the responsive design should be coded in such a way. And yes, it's a part of the front end um, development itself. Backend does not really care much about what's going on the front side. There are some server side languages that plays more important role in backend. These languages include Python, obviously. Python also have different frameworks. Python have a framework called Django. It have a framework called Flask. They have their own responsibilities and different other functionalities. There is a language called PHP. It also have a framework of its own. It's called Laravel. There is Ruby. Ruby have Rails, which is responsible for web application development. We have Node.js, again another framework of JavaScript itself. These are the languages that works on the server side. There are different kind of tasks also that are handled on the server side only. See, whatever server side is something more exclusive, and it cannot be or should not be accessible on the front end. Stuff like authentication and user sessions, all these are monitored on the backend. Stuff like data processing and data storage, it also works on the server side. Talking about like communication with the third party APIs and services. All these happens on the backend only. For those who are new to web applications, who they don't know about API, I will talk about API like really thoroughly. It's short for application programming interface. I'll explain what is an API, how it works, and everything. Okay, don't worry about it. Just like front end have different frameworks, there are backend frameworks also. These frameworks comes with pre-built libraries. So these frameworks basically, how should I put it? They streamline the development process with pre-built libraries and routing, and there are some middleware support like Django and Flask. There is something called Express.js, Node.js. These frameworks basically help in the streamlined development and proper communication channels. So yeah, so backend frameworks also have like very important roles. Now,